Hello, this is Kyle with the Dumb Friends League Humane Education Department. I'm here to tell you a little bit about who we are and what we do as an organization. So, first things first, what are we? We're an animal shelter. We take in, we take care of, and we find homes for homeless pets. And we're something called an open admission animal shelter, which means we will take in any animal that you bring to us, no matter what it is, as long as it's not a little brother or sister, you do have to keep those. Anything else, we'll take them in, take care of them, and find them a home. Although we'll take in any animal, we'll only adopt out to people and families four types of animals, and those are cats, like this guy, dogs, like this guy, small mammals, like this guy, and bunnies, guinea pigs, mice, gerbils, hamsters, ferrets, chinchillas, hedgehogs. And we'll also adopt out something called an equine. What's an equine? An equine is a horse, donkey, mule, pony, mini horse, mini donkey. Technically unicorns, but we've never gotten one of those. Fingers crossed. We get a lot of these animals. 21 to 22,000 of them every single year. And you might be thinking, well, how do we get all these animals? Well, we get them for four different reasons. Number one, owner surrender. Owner surrender is when someone has a pet that they can't have anymore. Maybe because they can't afford to buy food, maybe because they can't afford veterinary care, which can be really expensive. Maybe they're moving to a new home where they're not allowed to have a pet. Whatever it is, they can bring them to us and we'll take care of them until we find them a new home. That's number one. Number two, lost and stray animals. If you find a lost cat or lost dog, you can bring them to us. We'll do our best to figure out who they belong to, and we'll hold them for 5 days to give their owner a chance to come get them. If after 5 days we can't find the owner, we'll put them up for adoption to find a new home. And that's why it's really important that you have a collar with tags on your pet with their name and phone number, and something called a microchip. A microchip is a tiny little computer chip the size of a grain of rice. See that little guy in there? And that goes under their skin on their back. Every cat and dog that comes to us will get scanned for one of those microchips. And if that scanner beeps, that means they have one and we can look up on the computer who they belong to, which is pretty cool. Number three, something called a transfer. A transfer is an animal that comes from another animal shelter. Maybe because they don't have enough room for that animal, maybe because it's a type of animal that they aren't able to care for. Whatever the reason, we will help that animal shelter and that animal out by bringing them to the Dumb Friends League. That animal shelter might be somewhere else in Colorado, but it could be outside of Colorado too, like Oklahoma, Texas, Wyoming, New Mexico, anywhere that needs our help. We've even taken in animals from as far as Puerto Rico. Now, the last and least common way that we get animals is through our investigations department. These cruelty investigators help animals that aren't being properly cared for. So if they hear about someone that's not feeding their animal as much as they should be, or taking them to the doctor when they're sick, or just not being very nice to their pet, then they might go to that person's home. They might look at the animal, see what's going on, talk to the owners, talk to the neighbors, and try to determine what's best for that animal. And if those owners are breaking the law because they're not taking care of their pet the way that they're supposed to, our investigators can take that animal away from them, bring them here where we'll take better care of them and find them a better home. Luckily, it is the least common way we get animals, but it still happens. Now, one more thing. I'm sure you're wondering, why are we called the Dumb Friends League? It's not a very nice word to use. Well, we were started in 1910, 110 years ago, when the original meaning of the word dumb was more commonly used. And the original meaning of the word dumb is just someone who can't talk. They can't speak out for themselves. Animals can't talk, so we have to be the voices for them to help them get the things that they need: food, water, shelter, medical care, proper grooming, all that good stuff. So when we call the animals dumb, we're not saying that they're not smart. We're just saying that they can't speak up for themselves and we need to do that for them. Well, I hope you've learned a lot about the Dumb Friends League, and we hope to see you here as soon as you can. Thanks so much.